As Onyx and George continued their journey to Hawaii, they encountered a fast-moving river. Onyx looked at the river with fear, unsure of how to cross it. George could see the doubt in Onyx's eyes and knew he needed to encourage him. "Trust yourself, Onyx," George said. "You can do this. Just take it one step at a time." Onyx nodded nervously and took a deep breath. Together, they carefully stepped into the water, feeling the strong current tug at their feet. Onyx clung to George tightly, feeling scared but determined. They slowly made their way across the river, using rocks and branches to steady themselves. Finally, they reached the other side, exhausted but happy. Onyx beamed with pride and gratitude towards George. "Thank you, George," he said. "I couldn't have done it without you." From that day on, Onyx knew that he was capable of overcoming any obstacle that came his way, with the help of his wise and brave friend George. As Onyx and George continued their adventure on the island, they came across a grove of coconut trees. Onyx had never seen anything like it before, and was immediately intrigued by the sight of the small, round coconuts hanging from the branches. Curious, he approached one of the coconuts and sniffed it. It had a strange scent, unlike anything he had ever smelled before. Onyx's mind raced as he tried to figure out what it could be. Suddenly, he had an idea. Onyx had seen hedgehogs before and thought that the coconut looked just like a spiky hedgehog. He even nudged it with his nose, thinking it might move or curl up into a ball. George couldn't help but laugh at Onyx's mistake. "No, Onyx, that's not a hedgehog," he said, trying to stifle his giggles. "That's a coconut, a tropical fruit that grows on palm trees." Onyx looked at George in confusion.
"A fruit?
"But it doesn't look or smell like any fruit I've ever seen before," he said. George explained to Onyx that coconuts have a tough, fibrous outer layer that protects the sweet, juicy interior. He showed Onyx how to use his teeth and paws to crack open the coconut and reveal the delicious coconut water and flesh inside. Onyx was hesitant at first, still thinking about the coconut as a hedgehog, but he eventually gave it a try. To his surprise, the coconut tasted sweet and refreshing, and he couldn't help but wag his tail with delight. From then on, Onyx learned to appreciate the unique taste and texture of coconuts, and he looked forward to trying more new foods and experiences on his adventure in Hawaii.